TG Geeks, episode 357, December 20th, 2021. Writer, filmmaker, teacher, and one of us. Hello and welcome to another webcast from tggeeks.com, where Ben and Keith, the two gay geeks, talk about all aspects of geekdom and nerdery, sci-fi, comics, film, horror, genre, you name it, we talk about it. I'm Keith Lane, and we're coming to you from TG Squared Studios in It's Almost Time to Time Shift, Phoenix, Arizona.
And I'm Ben Raggington, coming to you from It's Almost Christmas, which is why we need to do the time. Christmas time is here. Yeah. Which is why we're doing the time shifting, or will be doing the time shifting here in Phoenix, Arizona.
And let's get on with this.
Prepare for hyperdrive.
Meanwhile, in the Hall of Episodes, the two gay geeks are discussing this.
In this episode, we are going to talk to Hamish Downie, who actually has a new film being released later on this week. And we're going to run a press release and a review for it as well this week. But we're talking to him about his new film, as well as what he's been doing since the last time we talked to him.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, and he was actually one of our first guests way back when.
Oh my God!
Gosh.
Yeah, in the smoky years of let's see. I mean, this is 2021, so
and,
we're talking 2015.
Yeah, out of that came new sushi and Hamish Downie's five questions and many other things that he's done for us. Thank you, Hamish. Hamish.
Hammy.
Hamish.
Thank you, Hammy.
And then we're going to have our birthday shout-outs, our featured podcast of the week, and we got a little bit of feedback and our regular shout-outs. If we have something in the second segment.
Oh, we do.
And then our weekly, and that's all. Weekly recap. And then a regular shout-out. So
weekly recap?
The weekly recap. Here we go. And this time we welcome back to our show somebody that we haven't talked to in quite some time.
But has quite the presence of.
But you are very familiar with Mr. Hamish Downie, who is, as I like to say, an Australian living in Japan. Japan, yes. Living in Japan, wherever that is.
It's a new country.
It's a new country.
Yeah, the map makers have got to catch up.
Yeah. And he is here to tell us about something new that he's doing. Welcome, Hamish.
Thank you for having me. It's so great to be back after, what is it, nearly 300 episodes?
Oh, we figured it's 250 episodes.
Yeah, 250 episodes.
Right.
But however...
As you say, I do kind of...
Yeah.
Sorry.
You have everybody, every week you have something. You've got your new sushi that you do. You're over 100 entries on that. And then who knows how many 5 questions with. Hamish, I've called it Hamish Downie's 5 questions with. It makes more sense now.
Yeah.
So I changed the title of those entries, and you have done so many of those, and those are really neat little compact interviews with folks, and they're just delightful. Thank you so much for doing that. It's wonderful, as well as your holiday reviews.
Yeah, I've got a couple of. I'm busy writing some of those, and I was watching one of the videos tonight, actually, which I'm going to write about in part 2 of the holiday column, which I guess as of airing, this would have come out already.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so happy to be able to say that I'm one of the columnists on the website.
You are,
which,
and you are, so consistent, and it's every week, and we appreciate that. Thank you for.
Yeah, no, thank you. Like I've really. Talking about pregnant pauses before we recorded.
Yeah.
I've really tried to take on the philosophy of the website about supporting independent creators, and It's just been such a joy to be able to meet and promote some of these people. Like, you may or may not be aware of it, but like one of the guys that I interviewed a while back, Joel Haver.
Yeah, right.
I think at the time I interviewed him the first time, I think he had like 500 subscribers. The second time I interviewed him, he had 1,000 subscribers. He now has over 1 million.
Whoa! Oh my Lord! Wow!
He just blew up. So it's kind of nice to be able to, like, people like that, and so.
Kind of nice to say.
As of recording, the
Yeah.
Daniel Rock one has just come out, and I think she's gonna, I think her short film only has like 60 views, but as of recording, but she's just makes such charming films that I think she's gonna go great guns as well. So that's. You guys must have the same feeling, like, with all the people that you interview and you've supported and nurtured.
Yeah, but we don't have 1 million subscribers.
No.
I wouldn't mind that.
We might actually make $1 or two then. We do all of this. No. It's all out of our pockets. So.
Oh, yeah. It really is a labor of love.
It's a labor of love. We do what we do because we really enjoy independent creators and independent filmmakers, and that's what we're here to talk to you about, because you are
in addition to everything else.
Exactly. We're not here to talk about all the wonderful things that you do for TG Geeks. We're talking about the wonderful things that you do for those folks that are in your films and for yourself. So
sure.
For those that
and thank you for that platform. You've allowed me to talk about silence, and I'd like to so 5 years ago we did that, and now I guess I can come back and say I've made my first debut feature film, which will come out on the, probably everyone who listens to this will have no idea who they are, but the GagaOOLala streaming service this December for Christmas. So
let's
pretty
back
happy
up
about that.
Just a little bit, and so that we can, for those that haven't listened to your previous interview, and for those that you don't really give a whole lot of background in some, you give a little snippets of where you've been, especially some of the travelogue stuff that you've done for your new sushi. But tell folks who you are, what you've done, how you wound up in Japan, and how you started making films.
Wow. Okay. So
as an elevator pitch.
As an elevator pitch. All right. So, so Billy Ray was the son of a preacher man.
Oh my God.
And that was in 1927.
That's right. My mother is a science teacher, and she loves doing research, and we've just found out that through my father's side, there is like a whole like back in England, but this whole acting troupe.
Interesting.
That we've just discovered through Ancestry.com. So, like, I used to feel like myself and my uncle was sort of like these outliers, or my sister as well. But turns out I come from a long line of theatre people, people apparently from high theatre and low theatre. So, I was a drag queen at one point. So that, vaudevillian low, like wah wah kind of theatre, that was me for a while. And yeah, so I guess, yeah. So how do I get to Japan? So I'm a preacher's son. I'm a drag queen. Well, I was. And then, I kind of wanted to do something different with my life, and I applied for Big Brother. I don't know if people still know that show anymore, but season 8 of Big Brother in Australia, I applied for that, and I also applied to come to Japan as an English teacher, and I failed one, but I got the other, and so here I am. I planned to stay for a year, and I had big dreams. I was like, I wanted to get paid to eat on television. I wanted to meet a geisha. I wanted to make an animation in Japan, and I've actually done all of them.
Oh, that's
funnily
cool.
enough. Like, this has been my land of opportunity in a way. Like not a couple of years ago, I got to be a travel correspondent for a TV show here. My eating on television part did actually get cut out, but I was paid to eat, which was,
Did you know?
It was a joy.
Did you know Japanese before you moved to Japan?
I knew 11 words.
Oh my gosh!
So, it was really just. I wanted to hit the reset button on my life, basically, and I did. And it's been, there's been ups and downs while I've been here. The company I first worked for went bankrupt, and then I came back, and I think when I came back a couple of years later, there was the earthquake. Which I think everybody knows about. But around that time is when I first released my first professional project, the music video for Robyn Loau, Never Let You Down. And, and now 10 years later, she's got a cameo role in Matcha and Vanilla, and she's played a significant role in a short animation, which I am producing at the moment with Ross Osaka.
Oh, yes.
Again,
That's right.
Who I interviewed. So, these, I can't pretend to be altruistic, because I do use the 5 questions as a way of networking.
Right. Well, why not?
I've met so many amazing people that I would just be too nervous or shy to meet otherwise.
Right.
So, and luckily enough for everyone else, they can discover them too.
So your trip to Japan truly was the geographical cure to, well, we usually say the geographical cure to your family, but it's the geographical cure to your
career, life.
Resetting your life, and wow, what a move!
Absolutely.
and you've thrived while you've been
move.
there. Yeah.
And funnily enough, I only found this out fairly recently, but I was trying to work very hard to. Especially with American Piano, like, getting into the Toronto International Film Festival, it's like, I want to make my grandmother proud. And she said to me, the thing that I'm proudest of is the fact that you've managed to live in another country. And so, that was kind of one of those nice little things where, like, you're busy trying to impress someone that you really look up to, and then you find out that you've already done it by something fairly simple. But anyway.
Well, and you're still an English teacher, is that correct?
That's right. That's what keeps a roof over my head.
Yeah.
And and very recently, I kind of like your old classics newly reviewed. I have a chance to introduce these classic films to one of a student of mine, and I've been getting to discover some, like, the funny thing about being a filmmaker, I think, is that you become so focused on making films that you never watch them.
Right.
And recently through this student, it's really forced me to just reignite my love for movies, because looking recently, I've gone on this streak of masterpieces like The Lion in Winter, Johnny Guitar, Mildred Pierce, like all of these films that I've never they were always on the cards. Like, oh yeah, I'll watch that someday, but it's forced me to watch all these great films, and it's like, why have I Meet Me in St. Louis? Why have I not watched this movie until this week?
Sunset Boulevard.
Oh God, yes.
Have you seen Sunset Boulevard?
I have seen Sunset Boulevard.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's that's
every gay man needs to see Sunset Boulevard.
Yes, it's required viewing for our community.
Yes. I am big. It's the pictures that got small.
Exactly.
Obviously my little drag career was just in one pub in one small town. Although I did get to do an event in Japan, but it is easy as a performer to get caught up in your own press. And the thing is, I can watch Sunset Boulevard, and my goodness, do I identify with Gloria Swanson, but Norma Desmond, and but you have to fight to not be Norma Desmond. I forgot the name of the actor, but I remember reading about this actor they were asking him you're 90 years old, why are you still working? And he said, well, if I don't work, I'm going to sit at home with my pictures around me like Norma Desmond and live in the past. So, you just got to keep moving, keep the train rolling on.
Exactly.
Which is what I've been trying to do.
So you have this new project that you alluded to earlier. So tell us about this project. It was you did Silence, and then you did another little short film. That what was that? It took place in a park or something.
Oh yes. So Lost Hope with another columnist of the website, Andy Van Stoyok.
Oh, yes.
She did the music, and so her guide to the zombie apocalypse is a must-read for everyone. So we did that one, and that features Ilan Rie, who is actually featuring again in Matcha and Vanilla. So I've done lots of little things between, but it's been a 4-year project. Even though the press release that I sent to you guys is we made it in 4 days.
But it's taken 4 years to edit it.
That's right. Part of that is the pandemic, of course.
Right.
The great pause.
Or as we call it, the damdemic. The damdemic, yeah.
Yes. It is that. It hasn't been the funnest. But it did influence the way the film got made, I guess, because we had that time. The original plan was to do more of a piano-based soundtrack, but because we had that year of nothing to do, and Darren Reynolds, our music producer, wanting to do something, and so I would give him these little projects, and each little project turned into basically a full soundtrack of songs. So it's now the soundtrack is basically filled with songs, one of which I got to write the lyrics of, ticking off another little dream of mine. So, and I got to write lyrics for so he goes by the name, he's DJ Aussie Boy, but
right.
he was in an Australian group called Radio Freedom that had a big top 10 smash hit when I was a kid, and it's like one of my favorite songs. So with this project, like even if it's a huge flop, the amount of dreams or bucket lists items that I've gotten to tick off it's just, it's a phenomenal list. So to me, it will be a success no matter what.
Yeah.
And, I'm just very, very proud of this project.
Cool. So tell us, what is this film about?
What is it about? Okay. That's again, if anyone who listened to the Silence interview, you'll know I don't make happy films. So what? Yeah, so
no, we have to cut this episode short then. Thank you. Goodbye.
No.
No, just kidding.
Anyway, I am planning to make a happy film next year. Anyway, so it's it's sort
tomorrow.
of it's one of those little fears that a lot of us in the community in Japan have of, like, it's. I guess it's a marriage equality issue, but if your partner gets sick and goes to the hospital, you may never hear of them again. So that's kind of one of the fears, and so that's what I wanted to explore in this film. Of basically, it's a lesbian couple, and one of them gets a terminal illness, and they decide to not go to hospital so that they can stay together. And basically it's their struggle to stay together that the film is about. And I hope that people can enjoy is not the right word, but I hope people will be able to, I guess, become aware of the situation in Japan. And hopefully it will do some good.
Hopefully it'll be the beginning
Japan.
of a movement.
Yeah, I've noticed, Hamish, with some of your work, you take on a rather socially conscious tone.
Right. Silence was about
about domestic abuse,
and then you have
so
this.
Is this something that's a passion of yours to sort of be like a social conscious messenger in your films?
I think so. I mean, yeah,
subconsciously.
I have to, I guess that one way to describe it is that I tried all my life to be different to my father, but I'm actually just like him in so many ways, including the fact that I'm a preacher, except my pulpit is the cinema screen, or the flickering light of the computers that most people will watch the film on, rather than in a church. So I'm afraid that's who I am.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I want to, obviously, good old Samuel Goldwyn used to say, if you want to send a message, send it via, what was it? Western Union. That's the quote.
Right.
Send it by Western Union if you want to send a message. So, I do hope that it is an entertaining film. Obviously, it's and there is the theory that watching a tragedy does bring happiness to people, more so than actually watching a happy film. Sometimes happy films make you look at your life and go, ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
My life is not like that.
That's true. But you get to, if it is a well-made film and people can get into the characters, then that emotion and that cathartic action that you have after watching the film is very freeing and releasing. So you have a message to present to folks.
That's right, and that's what I'm hoping. And and I think one of the privileges of getting to direct, again. So speaking of silence, so one of the things I wanted to do with silence was I wanted to work with Kyoko-san and Tomoko-san again, and so I wrote this film for them. So I each character that they play, I wrote specifically for them. And one of the biggest privileges of getting to be a director is getting to watch these amazing actresses do what they do best.
Nice.
So, in all sense of fairness and transparency, I do have a voiceover role.
Oh yes, that's right. And what a beautiful voice you have.
Oh shoot!
I look forward to that. That'll be the highlight of the movie for me. So, unfortunately, we're running up against the time. So, regarding the film Matcha Vanilla, when does that come out? And where? And one more time, because I know you said it earlier, but just to leave our listeners with this, when does it come out, and where can they find it?
That's right. So December 24th, and is the date that it comes out. So after you've calmed down from watching The Matrix, give our film a shot, and you can watch it on GagaOOLala. So that's GagaOOLala.com. It's a global streaming platform. It's the largest LGBT film streaming platform in Asia, and they've recently gone global, and we're one of their originals. So
cool.
So hopefully there'll be more platforms in the future. But like all streaming services, they have a 7-day free trial sign up. So everyone, please sign up for the trial and
sign up on
give
Christmas
my film
Eve.
a watch.
Sign up for Christmas Eve.
Watch your film.
Right.
That's right.
So we know where Matcha and Vanilla can be seen. Now, if people want to follow you and keep some kind of connection with what you're doing and what you'll be doing next, is there any social media presence that you have so they can do that?
Well, I mean, look, first and foremost, please, every Friday, check in at tggeeks.com for my Friday column.
Ding!
So, other than that, on Twitter, it's at Hamish Downie, and on Facebook, it's at Hamish.Downie, and on Instagram, it's at Hamish Downie Writer. So I'm not on TikTok because I'm not young enough to be on TikTok.
Yeah, exactly.
My
dancing days are long gone.
Me too. But anyway, any of those platforms, please feel free to get in touch and make a comment. Please make a comment on one of my columns. I'm happy to respond and read them. They're always wonderful.
Yeah. Well, this has been really great, Hamish. Thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you so much.
This is Zachary Wheeler, science fiction novelist, author of Transient and the Max in the Multiverse series, and you are listening to the Two Gay Geeks.
You really don't like that.
I really don't like that one. But I will indulge you.
Indulge me. Here's a few selected birthdays for December 20th through December 26th, 2021. And we must mention that we missed Susan Fox on December 15th, Mrs. Sci-Fi Radio
That's
herself. Right. Happy birthday, Susan. December 20th, David Bohm. He is a theoretical physicist who contributed unorthodox ideas to quantum theory. In his view, the old Cartesian model of reality, the mental and the physical that interact, is too limited, he said, And then it goes off into language that's way beyond my understanding. It kind of lost me after a couple of sentences, and I said, okay, we'll just stick with what we got there. If you want to look it up, go knock yourself out. Robert J. Van De Graaff, a physicist who spent his entire career at MIT. He invented the Van De Graaff generator,
Right.
which was a fascinating thing. We had one at my junior high.
Yeah, I
And
had
of
one
course,
in my junior high,
everyone
too.
did,
Yeah.
And it was a most wonderful thing. It
I
was
wonder
the
if they have them-
wonderfulest thing on the planet.
It was, and I wonder if they have those at junior high schools today. I kind of hope they do because, I mean, and I don't want to use the word old school, but I think there's a lot that can be learned from just that practical piece of equipment.
Well, and the fact that it was mostly used in nuclear physics experiments, and it's been replaced by solid state
Right.
generators now, but it was the thing.
But seeing
for
how it
years.
operates, I think, really provides an understanding into the generation of power.
Absolutely.
That you may be losing today.
And it actually generates more power than is put into it by the method that it...
That's almost a violation of physics.
It almost is, exactly. December 21st, Michelle Hurd, actress, mostly TV, and came to our attention recently as Raffi in Picard. And then you say,
yeah.
when you look her up, and you say, oh, her!
Yeah.
Yeah. Samuel L. Jackson,
Samuel
actor.
L. Mother Jackson.
Mostly known for his famous saying, has been in everything from comedy to TV ads to action to Marvel. He's an avid golfer
I believe it.
and has a clause written into his contract that guarantees him easy access to golf courses no matter where the shoot is.
Well, I'm guessing that Atlanta must have some really great golf courses because he's continually coming back for the Marvel movies.
Yep. And then we have Facebook friend of ours, David Lewin, and Eric Coleman.
Happy birthday.
Who is a wonderful musician.
Oh,
He and
great.
his wife are just great musicians. December 22nd, Giacomo Puccini, composer. Some of the most popular operas performed: La Bohème, Madame Butterfly, and Turandot, Tosca. He was commissioned to write an opera for the Met, which turned out to be Fanciulla del West, or The Girl of the Golden West. It is said that he finished it on the ship to America, which is, whether that is true, is
I want to believe
rather
that it's
debatable,
true.
yes.
I need to believe that it's true because it explains a great deal about the nature of that opera, in my opinion.
in your opinion. And then Andrei Kostelanets. He was a musical arranger and conductor. He was very popular in the 30s through the 50s on a CBS radio program and as conductor for the New York Philharmonic, of presenting classical music and making it approachable for folks. He also commissioned numerous pieces from Copland while he was with the New York Philharmonic. So he did a lot to American music, shall we say, as well. And then we have Facebook friends Anna Teresa Walker Wooten and Mary Bunch and Russ Kazmirjak.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. December 23rd, Thomas Kibble, theoretical physicist.
Oh, I thought he was the inventor of pet food.
Yes, actually he was. How did you know? He was
It was
a
the last
theoretical
name.
physicist that changed his course somewhere in his career to invent cat food.
Oh, I just figured that he invented cat food based on some of the things he discovered in theoretical physics.
Well, yes, tiny particles.
Yeah, very tiny. And tasty, too.
Tasty, too. His interest in quantum field theory, especially the interaction of particle physics and cosmology, led to being the first to describe the Higgs mechanism in quantum theory. And then we have Niels Kajern, who was, hopefully I butcher that too bad. He was a Danish immunologist. He shared the Nobel Prize in 1984 for theories concerning the development and control of the immune system and the discovery and of the principle for production of monoclonal antibodies, which is being used
today for
the COVID.
Exactly.
And then we have a friend of ours, Christopher Cano, who is the director of the Marion Rose Pullen Young Artist Program at the Arizona Opera. Happy birthday, Christopher. December 24th, Michael Curtiz, director, White Christmas.
Oh, of course.
And Casablanca. On set, he never ate lunch, saying that it disturbed the flow. And even though he made 12 films with Errol Flynn, they neither one cared for each other.
Indeed.
Yeah,
but he knew
always fighting on set.
But he recognized a talent and a good screen draw when he saw one.
What a talent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Howard Hughes, inventor and sometimes filmmaker, was known to be a germaphobe.
A crazy man.
A crazy man, had an air purifier installed in one of his cars that cost more than the car. And we actually saw that car in one of the many ubiquitous car museums in Las Vegas that pop up and down, and those things move around all the time.
I remember that.
Yeah. I think it was at the Oriental or something
I believe
like
so.
that, or in that area, in a building that was adjacent to it or connected to it or in it or wherever. But he was a genius engineer, though, despite his insanity. He was just...
Yeah? The Spruce Goose.
Exactly. And then we have a friend of ours, Gene Turnbow.
Mr. Sci-Fi Radio.
December 25th, Annie Lennox, singer. She has a 4-octave range. Did you know that?
Adore her.
She left the Eurythmics in 1990 to work with the homeless and didn't speak to Dave Stewart till 1997.
Well, I know they had a reunion,
yeah.
I didn't realize that was why she left, though.
Well, probably one of the many reasons, but that was what she did when she left the Eurythmics.
I thought she just went to explore a solo career.
Yeah. Rod Serling. What do you say about Rod Serling?
Goodness.
Twilight Zone, Night Gallery, writer.
Incredible writer.
He wrote most of a lot of the Twilight Zone and a lot of Night Gallery stories, or edited the Night Gallery stories as well. So,
and his work on the first Planet of the Apes movie is spectacular, I think.
December 26th, Martin Cooper, also known as Marty Cooper, invented the handheld cellular mobile phone in 1973. Now, this was different from the car phone. I remember the car phones
I vaguely remember the car phone.
They were Motorola mostly, but it was 1983 that they finally brought the brick.
I was going to say
to market.
What he probably created was the brick that we all know of from the 80s.
In fact, the picture of him with the first one is bigger than the brick that we all came to know. It was like twice the size.
And to think, I can talk to you for 10 minutes using this thing.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
I know.
And now it's like, that's all we work with now is these mobile phones.
Father of the cell phone. He'll be 93. 93. He's still alive.
I wonder if he has an iPhone or a sound, Galaxy or something.
Who knows?
He probably has. No, he probably still
has. Probably not. He's probably still using a rotary phone.
Oh, but the one that's got the separate handset that you put up to your ear.
Yeah.
And you hold.
Exactly. And then we have Charles Babbage, inventor, polymath, died in 1871, but is known as the father of the computer. It was a mechanical computer called the difference engine, and it was based on the principles of the Jacquard loom. And the Jacquard loom used punch cards that they would put in place that would weave the fabric together. Aha. So that's how it all came. It's just fascinating reading. Look up Charles Babbage and the Jacquard loom. There's a link off of it in Wikipedia. So it's fascinating. I tried not to get down too many shiny object holes today, but didn't make it quite. And that's it for the birthdays this time.
Hi, everybody. It's Beck and Hamish with the Fizz Podcast Radio Show. And we're asking you why you're not listening to our Fizz Podcast Radio broadcast show now. I messed it up.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah. No, really, it's the Fizz Podcast Radio Show with Beck and Hamish. And after this show's over, go look it up and take a listen to it. Da-dum, da-dum. Dun,
Radio
dun.
show.
Woo!
Go give a listen to our friends Beck and Hamish over at the Fizz Popcast Radio Show.
I'm Daniel Radcliffe, and I believe that reaching out for help is the bravest thing a person can do. If you are struggling and need support, call the Trevor Lifeline at 1-866-488-7386. It's free and confidential, and trained counsellors are there to listen 24/7 without judgment. To learn more about the Trevor Project's life-saving work for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender or questioning young people, go to thetrevorproject.org.
We want to give a shout out, as always, to the Joshua Tree Feeding Program, a 501c3 nonprofit food pantry for the HIV and AIDS community in Maricopa and Pinal counties. Joshua Tree offers a place where clients can select from a wide assortment of nutritional foods to take home, and they set it up like a store so that the clients can come in and pick and choose the things that they want. It empowers the clients, and no food is wasted. It is a really fascinating thing to see. It's just like a grocery store, literally. You go in and you pick things up, and that's what they get to take home. They also have a second distribution day for those in the gender non-conforming community that may be experiencing food insecurity regardless of HIV status. If you want to give a gift to Joshua Tree, you can do that by a single gift or a monthly recurring gift. Go to jtfp.org.
And it's time for our feedback. These are comments that we received in response to articles or episodes that we ran on our website at tggeeks.com. And the links for each of these will be in the show notes for this episode number 357 at tggeeks.com. Starting with...
And Arkle did correct you, as you expected.
I knew he would. I knew he was going to correct me on this. Regarding TG Geeks episode number 354, we were going through the birthday segment, and it turned out it was Ridley Scott's birthday for that week. And I said, I think he did Last Night in Soho. Boy, was I wrong. And I realized that. After we recorded the episode, I looked it up and said, ooh, I was wrong, and I know that Arkle is going to say something. And he did. Last Night in Soho was Edgar Wright. Yes, Arkle, you are correct. I think you were thinking of The Last Duel, a period drama about a medieval rape trial released while a pandemic is still going and got mixed reviews. So, of course, Ridley Scott blames smartphones for its poor box office performance piece. Yeah, sure, Ridley. It was the phones. Go back to ruining the Alien franchise. Now, let me say, I was not thinking of The Last Duel. I was thinking of House of Gucci. That is Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott, moving on.
Ridley Scott.
Regarding Ben's holiday breakdown with Christmas with the Cranks is a movie with the laughs. Got a comment from Hicks, Mike Hickerson, that we know from some podcast we did some years ago. He says, I think I may have to rewatch this one this year. Been a while since I've seen it. Moving on, and we close this off with regarding Ben's breakdown, Thanksgiving Frasier episode, The Apparent Trap. Got a comment from Hicks again. He says, and I need to add this to my rewatch list as well. So, hey, Hicks, tell us what you think. I really like to know your opinion on that one. And that is our feedback for today.
If you want to leave a comment, you can do that on our Facebook page or our Twitter page or Instagram or any place that you can find us at tggeeks.com. You can also leave us a voicemail if you would like. You can do that by calling 469-TG-GEEKS. That is 469-844-3357. And as always, please play nice. As everybody knows, we are huge supporters of independent creators, whether they are filmmakers, comic book artists, writers, or others. Please buy their stuff. Talk to them about their stuff. Talk to other people about their stuff. Check them out wherever you can find them, all over the place, and support independent creators. If you are trans or are questioning your gender identity, and if you are in crisis or are feeling isolated and need someone to talk to, or you know of someone in a similar situation, there is a special hotline just for you. The hotline is provided by translifeline.org and staffed by trained counselors who are transgender themselves. The hotline in the U.S. is 877-565-8860. In Canada, it is 877-330-6366. Or you can go to translifeline.org to learn about the important work they are doing. Please reach out for help. You are not alone.
Yeah, baby. They're like two gay geeks. They're together, you know. They're two gay guys and they're geeks. Is that okay?
Well, we got something hot to talk about.
Wow.
And I can only finally can talk about this because the review has been run.
And the book has been read, and the review has been run.
Yeah, I finally got to publish my review, and you're probably wondering, what are you talking about? We're talking about Book 3 of the Tarot Sequence, The Hourglass Throne. Not out yet, comes out in May, but we had an advance copy. We got to read it. I got a review. It ran last week, and now we can talk about it.
Non-spoilery,
but we can just talk about some of our initial reactions. Holy smokes. This has become the best book I've ever read. It bumped The Hanged Man down to number 2.
It, as I said when I finished it, it is a roller coaster, an out-of-control roller coaster.
In the dark.
Totally. And it's craziness.
And what I loved about also is that there are so many bizarre turns that to anybody else, they could result to being red herrings, but turn out not to be. Instead, they get used for something entirely different, which makes more sense than what I had thought they were going to turn out to be. I mean, it was like, this book has got surprises all over the place. It was literally, this is a writing masterpiece that Katie Edwards has managed to put out, and I'm just stunned by how great it is. His writing has jumped another. It's leapt into the stratosphere. Well, he continues to work with a writing group, which I think is brilliant. I mean, it clearly works for him. He has a lot of beta readers that take a look at his, I guess we come after beta reader.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what is that. We're a delta reader?
Gamma.
Omicron.
Oh my God.
We're an Omicron. We're the
reader.
Oh my God reader, yeah. But because he works with all these different readers as he's putting stuff out, I think this helps him to hone his craft even more so. I mean, and he and I have had conversations lately saying that now he's looking back at things that he wrote early on and says, okay, I need to address these things that happen early in my writing, which he's going to be doing as he gets into book 4. But to see where he has come so far now with this, it is just utterly astonishing. And I will say that this is one of these books that now that I've read it, I have to go back and take a look at books 1 and 2 again, because, oh my God, things that I saw in those first 2 books now have new meaning.
Exactly. And he does wind up a lot of the loose ends from the
lots
first
of
2
loose
books.
ends.
And
some of them that I found to be quite a punch in the gut.
Yeah, exactly. But we can't
give details.
Cannot give details.
Cannot give details.
If you have read the first 2 books, you will not be disappointed in this third book.
No,
if you
not at all.
haven't read the first 2 books,
Get them.
get busy and read them.
You will not be sorry.
The Last Son and
The Hanged
Man in the Tarot sequence by K.D. Edwards.
And I, as I've said when I share this on social media, if you like strong urban fantasy stories and or stories with strong LGBTQ characters, get these books. You will not be sorry.
And he's very
very accessible.
Accessible, as well as he's learned as he's written about the community and about some bigger things in the community.
I've learned things.
Yeah. So I think that you should get it, make it a treat for yourself for Christmas.
And check out the review if you haven't, because if that doesn't entice you, then I don't know what will. And it's time for our weekly review. These are articles that we ran on our website at tggeeks.com, and the links for each of these will be found in the show notes for this episode number 357 at tggeeks.com, starting with Sunday, December 12th, Nerdy Chupacabras number 78. On Monday the 13th, TG Geeks episode number 356. On Tuesday the 14th, Christmas Confessions by Jeannie Koch. This is something new from her. Check it out. It's really interesting. On Wednesday the 15th, Jeannie's Christmas Classics, Bachelor Mother for the Holidays. On Thursday the 16th, Keith's Holiday Corner. Pee-wee's Playhouse Christmas Special is an experience not to be believed.
Truly.
On Friday the 17th, Hamish Downie's 5 Questions with Socks Whitmore, as well as Ben's Breakdown. Katie Edwards' The Hourglass Throne is a thrilling and breathtaking ride. And we close off the week Saturday the 18th. Jeannie Koch warns us about Phoenix holiday decorations.
And you can find all those things at tggeeks.com.
We have some shout-outs that we need to make. First to Arkle. You heard from him earlier on as part of our feedback section. Brian Weber, a good friend of ours. He is also on Twitter. You can find him. He is Brian the Ampersand List YouTuber, excuse me. He also has his Arkle Times Post Dispatch news. Yes, it is back for people who thought that it was gone. You can find it by finding him on Twitter, and do that by searching for Geek of All Trades. G3 KOFALLTRADES. And while you're searching for all things Arkle, go to his YouTube channel, youtube.com/Arkle Studios. He has a number of his projects there. His Shameless Cash Grab series, which is in season 7. Yay.
He's going to try to have an episode by, I think, Christmas Eve or Christmas Day.
Oh, good for you, Arkle. He also has his Rants vs. Zombies series. Yes, it is over, but past episodes are still there. He also has Arkle Tier Ranks, as well as game videos of Trick and Treat and Star Trek Online. We must also give some shout-outs to a couple of Facebook groups for allowing us to post our episodes and relevant articles on their pages. First, to Gay Geeks After Hours. Big thanks to them when their moderators said that we could share away our content. Their URL is facebook.com/group/Gay Geeks After Hours, and then to The Gay Geek for pretty much the same thing. And their URL is facebook.com/group/thegaygeek. And as always, we give special thanks to their moderator, Jeremiah Reeves.
Thank you, Jeremiah. Other places we can be found are Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Amazon Podcasts, as well as where other fine podcasts can be found. Also, check us out on Sci-Fi Radio at 3 a.m. and 3 p.m. Pacific Time on Tuesdays for a replay. And listen to their other content. They're a 24-hour geeky internet radio station. Please rate us and review us on iTunes. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And that should do it for this episode of TG Geeks Webcast. Be sure to check out the article for this webcast episode. We're going to have several links on the page of things that we talked about. And remember, you can comment on our Facebook page or our website, tggeeks.com, or you can leave us a voicemail at 469-TG-GEEKS. That is 469-844-3357. From TG Squared Studios, I am Keith Lane. Thanks for listening. Please be kind to yourself and those around you. Stay safe, wear a mask, get vaccinated. Peace.
Cheers.